From the moment ISIS captured Mosul, in early June 2014, I began to follow the conflict on a daily basis. In this series, I will cover the campaigns and battles fought by ISIS for control of the Levant. By mid-2014, ISIS had thoroughly plundered vast arms depots in northern Iraq. Harnessing this newfound firepower, their fighters conquered large parts of northeastern Syria. Within a few weeks, nearly all rebel forces in the area either joined ISIS or moved west to the provinces of Aleppo and Idlib. Following this victory, they launched an offensive against a number of government army bases. Over the course of several weeks, the 17th Division in Ráqqa City, followed by the 93rd Brigade to the north, and the 121st Artillery Regiment in Hazaka Province, were completely overrun. Army units around Hazaka City pushed back and managed to retake several villages to the south, but the 121st Artillery Regiment remained under ISIS control. With almost all of Ráqqa Province under their sway, they began massing troops near the Tabqa airbase in early August. Several hit-and-run attacks were launched against checkpoints outside the base, likely probing for weakness. The Syrian army responded with a number of airstrikes, apparently receiving intelligence on ISIS troop movements from US spy drones. The airstrikes killed dozens of fighters and at least 8 civilians. During the air raids, the Ráqqa City water plant was destroyed, cutting off the water supply. At the same time, the government flew in reinforcements in an attempt to stave off the attack. Next, a string of villages close to Lake Assad fell to ISIS fighters, further tightening the noose around the beleaguered garrison. In the wake of this advance, they commenced a large-scale assault against the airbase, spearheaded by a double suicide bombing near the entrance. Following the bombers, 200 fighters attempted to breach the defenses, but failed. Fighting continued throughout the night, but had subsided by morning. In the afternoon, a fresh assault was carried out, and again repulsed with heavy casualties. ISIS further tightened the siege by capturing the Al-Tayr checkpoint. As night fell, more reinforcements moved in from Tabqa, and another assault was launched, following a suicide bomber detonating at the main gate. This attack failed, and the Syrian army managed to re-establish control of the road to Salamiyah, thus partly lifting the siege of the airbase. ISIS fighters had suffered heavy losses, but for the Syrian army, the situation had become untenable, as continuous assaults had taken their toll on the defenders, and the position was isolated and difficult to defend and resupply without heavy air support. The army gradually withdrew the aircraft and heavy weaponry from the base, before pulling its forces back toward Salamiyah. In the midst of this withdrawal, ISIS fighters broke into the base, routing the rear army units and executing at least 250 soldiers, about 700 managing to pull back safely. The capture of the strategic position weakened Syrian air power, and the supply line between Aleppo and Hama became vulnerable. ISIS used this victory to consolidate its control over territory stretching from Lake Assad to Deir ez-Zor city. In Part 2, I will cover their next offensive against the Kurds, in a city that will always be remembered for the heroic fighters who defended it. That city is called Kobani. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe in order to support this channel. Thank you.